Hey y'all, it's Hunter Elliott, rangehot.com. Hope you're doing well. This afternoon I'm finalizing my review of the TALO edition Wiley Clapp Ruger SP101. Little 5-shot 357 Magnum revolver. Before we get into anything, first thing I want to show you is the cylinders on both these little SP101s are open and empty and don't have any ammunition on the table, so we know it's safe to talk about. So Wiley Clapp, he is definitely an authority on handguns, defensive handguns, handgun shooting, defensive shooting. I've met him a handful of times. I know Wiley, and super nice guy, very knowledgeable. So whenever he does a collaboration with TALO and they have a Wiley Clapp edition handgun, you can bet that the changes that he's talked about, well, they're important. And that's one of the reasons that I've got my little SP101 out, is to talk about some of those differences between these two revolvers. I bought this revolver 20 some odd years ago, and it was one of my very first concealed carry handguns. I've had it that long. I've shot it a lot. It's been a really good solid revolver. It's never given me any trouble. Plenty accurate for what I need. So I'm basing a lot of my review on, not a lot, but I'm basing a portion of my review on how familiar I am with this SP101 and how reliable and how good of a revolver it's been for me. So with that said, let's talk about this one. Got a couple specifications that I'll get to real quick. This has a 3-inch barrel, which your standard SP101 has got 2 1/4, so you get a little bit more barrel length. It's going to change your weight. You go from about 26 ounces to a little over 30 ounces, so a little bit heavier gun, but that's not necessarily a bad thing. This has a rear Novak adjustable for windage, and it has a front Novak with a brass bead right there. So whenever you're getting your sight alignment sight picture, that brass bead really contrasts nicely against that black U-notch. And that's going to give you a little bit better sight alignment. Now your longer barrel, 3-inch over 2 1/4, that is going to give you a little bit more sight radius, which is going to allow for a little bit more precision aiming. Now, I know y'all, this isn't a pistol that you're going to take, or excuse me, this is not a revolver that you're going to take to an NRA bullseye match. However, adding a little bit of barrel length, adding a little bit of sight radius, better sights, that's going to be a little bit more conducive to an accurate revolver, accurate firearm, and it being based solely for a defensive gun, that's going to not be a bad thing. Also, you know, adding that 3/4 of an inch of barrel length is going to give you a little bit more velocity. 357 Magnum is, you know, some say the gold standard for defensive ammunition. However, coming out of a snub-nose revolver, you do lose velocity. Adding a little bit of barrel length adds a little bit more velocity, so you get a little bit more ooey out of the gun, if that makes any sense. Now, looking at the stocks, you know, Ruger, they ship these with just kind of a nice rubber overmolded stock with just plain serrated wood inserts. With the Wiley Clapp edition, you still have the nice rubber overmolded stocks, but you've got some Ruger checkered wooded inserts, and they're a little bit more comfortable. They give you a little bit more traction. Now, I'm not going to lie, we shot some full house 357 Magnums through this. We shot a lot of full house 357 Magnums through it, and it's snappy. You get a little bit more weight on this gun, and that does help soak up some of that recoil. A little bit longer barrel, a little bit more muzzle weight. It does make a difference. It's not tremendous, but it is a little bit. And I don't think the additional weight is going to make any problems from carrying the gun. A little revolver like this, you're gonna carry in a nice, you know, holster or a nice gun belt. So a little bit more weight ain't gonna make much difference than carrying the gun. However, it does make a little bit of difference when shooting it, if that makes any sense. Now, my mom, you've seen Barbara in a lot of my videos, and she carries a little Ruger SP101 as her everyday carry. The difference is hers, it's got a bobbed hammer. That's what she prefers, that's what she likes. It's basically double action only, which is fine. But this one, you've got the option for running the gun in single action. And for me, I think that's pretty important. So especially if you're out shooting the gun and you're target shooting, if you're going to carry any gun you're going to carry, you need to become proficient with it, you need to practice with. Having the ability to cock the hammer, it's going to take up most of your trigger pull, and it takes it from about a 13-pound double action to just under 6 pounds. So you lose a lot of this, which the harder the trigger pull is, the longer the trigger pull is, the more chance you've got to disturb that perfect sight alignment sight picture. So that helps eliminate a lot of that. Still, you know, the trigger pull on double action is measured about 12 or 13 pounds. That is not abnormal for a double action revolver, and being it that there's no real manual safeties, that serves as your safety. However, as all Ruger revolvers that I'm aware of, they do have a transfer bar safety. So if you want to carry the hammer down on a live cylinder, yeah, you're good to go on that. We spent the past couple months shooting this gun. We've probably got all total, I'm gonna guess right around 600 rounds through it, maybe not quite, give or take. I'm gonna say better than half of those were 38 specials. The rest were full house 357 magnums, a lot of Winchester ammunition we shot through the little revolver, and within that time, didn't have any kind of misfeeds, malfunctions, or problems, which doesn't surprise me because I've shot thousands of rounds through this little SP101 and it hasn't given any trouble. And you know, it's no secret Ruger builds and overbuilds their revolvers. They're built like tanks. So this stainless steel double action revolver should not give you much, if any, issues. Now, I'm not saying that the revolver, just like any handgun or firearm or anything made by human beings, is exempt from malfunctions. But a well-made heavy-duty revolver like Ruger tends to do is going to really help mitigate a lot of those potential malfunctions. Honestly, there's not a whole lot bad I can say about the little revolver. I mean, it is obviously designed to be a concealed carry self-defense revolver. 5 rounds of 357 Magnum, that's not too bad medicine. You can always carry a speed loader or a speed strip, get you 5 or 6 more rounds on your person. And you know, for a lot of people, most people, that is way aplenty. So I don't see really any negative drawbacks. We did have Chad's little girl, Courtney. She come out here and shot some 38s out of it. Wasn't too bad for her. So you've got a lot of versatility with a 357 Magnum to drop back to shooting 38 specials. Teaching somebody how to shoot a revolver. It is big enough and heavy enough to where it would serve as a pretty good instructional platform on getting someone into the double action revolver game. It's a 5-shot 357 Magnum revolver. Ruger's been making them forever. And by now, if anybody's got it figured out, they've got it figured out, so I don't have any complaints. The Wiley Clapp upgrades certainly do make it a little bit more user-friendly, especially for a self-defense, defensive handgun like that. And now this is a TALO exclusive. Basically, TALO's a really high-end distributor, and they will buy a certain lot of guns from a manufacturer, and then they will make different specified changes, upgrades. A lot of times, there will be functional as well as aesthetically pleasing upgrades. Or a lot like this, the TALO edition of the Wiley Clapp SP101, they're important functional upgrades that Wiley Clapp said, hey, you got a little defensive revolver, these are the changes that should be made. The powers of TALO go, yeah, you know what, that's a pretty good idea, and then they'll spec that gun out. So TALO makes a lot of special edition guns, and they're always upgraded from the base gun that they build off of. So if you're looking for something kind of different, kind of cool, you know, check out TALO's website. They got a lot of really cool stuff. They do a lot of really nice firearms over there. They don't just do revolvers. They do 1911s. They do 22s. They do long guns. They do shotguns. They do a little bit of everything. So check out TALO's website as well. You'd be doing yourself a favor to go ahead and get the TALO edition instead of buying the base model and then realizing, oh, you know what, I need to make some changes. And then now you've got the gun at a gunsmith. It's out of your possession. Now you're having to carry something maybe you don't like, and then you're spending just more money on top of that to get the changes made, when a lot of times someone like TALO may have already made a lot of those changes, and so bam, done, buy it, one and done, you're good to go. Food for thought. As always, there's going to be an article on rangehot.com, and it's going to go through all the specifications, everything. So if you got any questions or comments, you can always jump over there, read that article, and then anything past that, you know, you can reach out to me social media. Facebook, YouTube, Instagram, Pinterest, Twitter, the whole 9 yards. We're on social media. As Candy's always reminding me, I can hear her right now, if you like the video, hey, please subscribe. I really push rangehot.com because that's my website. That's where my gun reviews are, but I host my videos here on YouTube. And the channel has started growing a little bit quicker than I thought it would. And so I'm like, hey, here's another really good outlet to reach out. So subscribe to rangehot.com. You can always comment on my video there if you've got any questions or critiques or whatever. I do my best to answer everybody as best I can. So if you got any problems, questions, critiques like that, find me on social media, reach out to me on YouTube, Rangehot, whatever. I'll be glad to do whatever I can to get that squared away. So really, y'all, that's about all I got. I want you to take care of yourselves and each other. Look forward to seeing you at the range.